In the IELTS speaking test, using appropriate vocabulary is one of the most effective ways to boost your score. Choosing the right words for each topic not only helps you express your ideas with clarity and precision, but also shows the examiner that you can confidently handle a wide range of subjects. In this video, you'll discover a powerful collection of topic-specific words and phrases, carefully selected to match common IELTS themes. These expressions will help you speak more naturally, more fluently, and more impressively. Adversity, a difficult or unpleasant situation that causes suffering or challenge. Misfortune, difficulty, struggle, crisis. Describe a time when you faced adversity and how you dealt with it. I faced real adversity during my final year at university when my father fell ill. Balancing studies and family responsibilities was a misfortune that tested my resilience. The difficulty of managing both worlds felt overwhelming, but I embraced the struggle and sought help from mentors. That crisis taught me emotional strength and time management. Hardship, severe suffering or deprivation, often due to financial or emotional strain. Suffering, affliction, poverty, trial. Have you ever experienced financial hardship? Yes. During my early 20s, I went through financial hardship after losing my job. The suffering was intense, especially with bills piling up. That affliction made me reconsider my spending habits. Living close to poverty was humbling, and the entire trial taught me the importance of savings and adaptability in uncertain times. Setback, an event that delays progress or causes a temporary failure. Obstacle, hindrance, blow, delay. Can you talk about a setback you experienced in your career? Certainly. One major setback occurred when I was passed over for a promotion I had worked hard for. It felt like a huge obstacle to my growth. That hindrance made me reflect on my skills. Although it was a blow to my confidence, I used the delay to upskill and eventually secured a better role. It was a disguised opportunity for self-improvement. Barrier, something that prevents movement, progress, or communication. Obstruction, hurdle, blockade, impediment. What barriers do people face when trying to learn a new language? Language learners often face barriers like lack of exposure and fear of making mistakes. One major obstruction is limited access to native speakers. Another hurdle is grammar complexity. These can act as a blockade to fluency. Psychological impediments like low confidence also play a role. Overcoming these requires patience and consistent practice. Resistance, the refusal to accept or comply with something. Opposition. Opposition, defiance, rebellion, pushback. Why do some people show resistance to change in the workplace? Resistance to change often stems from fear of the unknown. Employees may show opposition when they feel their roles are threatened. Defiance can arise from lack of communication. In some cases, rebellion is a form of expressing dissatisfaction. Pushback usually happens when changes are abrupt. A transparent approach can ease this transition. Burden, a heavy load, either physical or emotional, that causes stress or difficulty. Load, strain, responsibility, encumbrance. Do you think modern life places too much burden on young people? Absolutely. Young people today carry a significant burden, especially with academic pressure and career expectations. This emotional load often leads to mental strain. The responsibility to succeed can feel overwhelming, and social media adds another encumbrance. Balancing all these demands is challenging and can affect their overall well-being. Conflict, a serious disagreement or argument between people, groups, or ideas. Dispute, clash, struggle, tension. Have you ever experienced a conflict at work or school? Yes, I once faced a conflict with a colleague over project responsibilities. The dispute arose due to unclear communication. It quickly turned into a clash of opinions. Although the struggle was uncomfortable, we resolved the tension through open dialogue. That experience taught me the value of empathy and compromise in professional settings. Dilemma: a situation in which a difficult choice has to be made between two options. Predicament, quandary, puzzle, impasse. Describe a time when you faced a dilemma and how you resolved it. I faced a dilemma when choosing between studying abroad or staying with my family. It was a real predicament because both options had emotional weight. I was stuck in a quandary for weeks. The puzzle of balancing ambition and loyalty felt impossible. Eventually, I broke the impasse by discussing it with my parents, who supported my decision to go abroad. Disruption: an interruption or disturbance that prevents normal operation or flow. Interference, disturbance, breakdown, interruption. How do technological disruptions affect traditional industries? Technological disruptions have reshaped traditional industries significantly. For example, automation has caused interference in manufacturing jobs. This disturbance often leads to a breakdown in employment patterns. Moreover, digital platforms have caused major interruptions in retail and media. While disruptive, these changes also open doors to innovation and efficiency. Fatigue: extreme tiredness resulting from mental or physical exertion. Exhaustion, weariness, burnout, lethargy. How do people cope with fatigue in their daily lives? Fatigue is a common issue, especially for those with demanding jobs. People often experience exhaustion after long hours of work. This weariness can lead to burnout if not managed properly. Some cope by exercising or meditating, while others combat lethargy with short breaks or power naps. Maintaining a balanced lifestyle is key to reducing fatigue. Uncertainty: the state of being unsure or lacking confidence about future outcomes. Doubt, ambiguity, vagueness, hesitation. How does uncertainty affect decision-making? Uncertainty can significantly hinder decision-making. When faced with doubt, people often delay choices. Ambiguity in outcomes creates confusion, while vagueness in information leads to poor judgment. Hesitation becomes inevitable when risks are unclear. To overcome uncertainty, individuals rely on research, expert advice, or intuition to guide their actions. Instability: lack of consistency or firmness, prone to change or disruption. Volatility, insecurity, turbulence, unpredictability. What are the consequences of political instability in a country? Political instability can have far-reaching consequences. Volatility in leadership affects economic growth. Insecurity among citizens may lead to unrest. Turbulence in governance disrupts public services, and unpredictability discourages foreign investment. Stability is essential for national progress, and without it, development becomes a major challenge. Isolation: the state of being separated from others, either physically or emotionally. Seclusion, loneliness, detachment, solitude. How does isolation impact mental health? Isolation can deeply affect mental health. Prolonged seclusion often leads to loneliness, which may trigger depression. Emotional detachment from others can reduce empathy and social skills. While some enjoy solitude, excessive isolation can be harmful. Building connections and engaging in community activities are vital for emotional well-being. Breakdown. A failure in a system, relationship, or mental state. Collapse. Malfunction. Disintegration. Rupture. Describe a situation where you witnessed a breakdown in communication. I witnessed a breakdown in communication during a group project. The collapse of dialogue between team members led to confusion. A technical malfunction in our messaging app added to the problem. Eventually, the disintegration of trust caused a rupture in collaboration. We resolved it through face-to-face meetings and clearer role assignments. Overload. Excessive amount of work, information, or stress that overwhelms a person. Overburden. Saturation. Excess. Strain. How do people deal with information overload in today's digital age? In today's digital age, information overload is a real challenge. People are often overburdened with constant notifications and updates. This saturation of data leads to mental excess and emotional strain. To cope, many set boundaries, use digital detox strategies, and prioritize quality over quantity in their media consumption. Pressure point. A critical or sensitive area where stress or tension is concentrated. Stress zone. Trigger spot. Vulnerable area. Tension node. Can you describe a pressure point in your academic or professional life? During my final exams, I reached a pressure point where everything felt overwhelming. That stress zone was triggered by deadlines and expectations. My mind became a vulnerable area, and every small issue felt like a tension node. I managed it by organizing my schedule and seeking support from peers and mentors. Turning point. A moment of significant change or decision that alters the course of events. Watershed moment. Milestone. Crossroads. Defining moment. Describe a turning point in your personal or professional life. A major turning point in my life was when I decided to switch careers. It was a watershed moment that changed everything. That milestone gave me clarity and purpose. Standing at a crossroads, I had to choose between comfort and growth. That defining moment taught me resilience and the value of pursuing passion over routine. Confront. To face or deal with a difficult situation or person directly. Challenge. Tackle. Face up to. Engage. Have you ever had to confront a difficult situation or person? Yes. I had to confront a colleague who was consistently missing deadlines. It was difficult to challenge someone directly, but I knew it was necessary. I decided to tackle the issue calmly and professionally. Facing up to the problem helped restore team efficiency. Engaging in honest dialogue made the situation better for everyone involved. Endure. To suffer through or remain firm during hardship or difficulty. Withstand. Persist. Brave. Tolerate. Can you describe a situation where you had to endure something difficult? I had to endure a long recovery period after a surgery. It was tough to withstand the physical pain and emotional stress. I had to persist through months of therapy. Learning to brave the discomfort and tolerate the limitations taught me patience and mental strength. That experience reshaped my perspective on health and resilience. Navigate. To find a way through a difficult situation or environment. Steer. Maneuver. Chart. Pilot. How do people navigate challenges in their personal lives? People often navigate personal challenges by learning to steer through emotional turbulence. They maneuver around obstacles using support systems and self-reflection. Some chart a new course by setting goals, while others pilot their way through with resilience and adaptability. It's a process of growth and strategic decision-making. Above to give it a try. Enjoy using text-to-speech. Wrestle with. To struggle to deal with a difficult problem or decision. Grapple with. Battle. Tackle. Contend with. Describe a time when you had to wrestle with a tough decision. I had to wrestle with the decision of leaving my hometown for a job abroad. I grappled with the emotional cost of separation. It felt like a battle between ambition and loyalty. I tackled the dilemma by listing pros and cons and contended with my fears until I found clarity. It was a defining moment in my life. Push through. To continue despite difficulty or resistance. Persevere. Forge ahead. Persist. Struggle on. Have you ever had to push through a difficult situation? During my final semester, I had to push through intense academic pressure. I persevered despite exhaustion and forged ahead with determination. I chose to persist even when things felt overwhelming. I struggled on by breaking tasks into manageable parts and seeking support. That experience taught me endurance and time management. Break through. To overcome a barrier or achieve a significant success. Penetrate. Overcome. Shatter. Crack. Can you describe a moment when you broke through a personal limitation? I broke through my fear of public speaking during a university debate. I managed to penetrate my anxiety by practicing daily. Eventually, I overcame my hesitation and shattered the mental block that held me back. That moment helped me crack the shell of self-doubt and discover confidence I didn't know I had. Surmount. To overcome a difficulty or obstacle successfully. Conquer. Rise above. Triumph over. Get past. How do people surmount obstacles in their careers? People surmount career obstacles by developing new skills and staying persistent. They conquer setbacks by seeking mentorship. Many rise above criticism and use it as fuel for growth. To triumph over challenges, they remain focused and adaptable. Getting past failures is often the key to long-term success. Withstand. To resist or endure something challenging or harmful. Endure. Brave. Survive. Hold out. What qualities help someone withstand pressure in high-stress jobs? To withstand pressure in high-stress jobs, one must endure long hours and mental fatigue. It's essential to brave criticism and survive setbacks with grace. Those who hold out during tough times often develop resilience and leadership qualities. Emotional intelligence plays a big role in managing stress effectively. Adapt to adjust to new conditions or environments. Acclimate. Adjust. Conform. Modify. How important is it to adapt to change in today's world? In today's fast-paced world, the ability to adapt to change is crucial. People must acclimate to new technologies and adjust their skill sets regularly. Sometimes, they conform to new workplace cultures or modify their routines to stay relevant. Adaptability is a key trait for success in modern life. Rebound from. To recover quickly from a setback or difficulty. Bounce back. Recuperate. Recover. Spring back. Can you talk about a time when you had to rebound from failure? After failing my first driving test, I had to rebound from disappointment. I chose to bounce back by practicing more and improving my confidence. I managed to recuperate emotionally and recover my motivation. Eventually, I spring back stronger and passed the test. That failure taught me patience and persistence. Recalibrate. To readjust or modify something for better performance or accuracy. Reassess. Realign. Reconfigure. Reset. Why do people need to recalibrate their goals sometimes? People recalibrate their goals when circumstances change. They reassess priorities due to life events or career shifts. Realigning ambitions helps maintain focus. Some reconfigure their plans to match new opportunities, while others reset expectations to avoid burnout. Recalibration ensures continued growth and relevance. rebuild. To construct again after destruction or damage. Restore, reconstruct, renovate, regenerate. Describe a situation where you had to rebuild something important. After a falling out with a close friend, I had to rebuild our relationship. I worked to restore trust and reconstruct communication. It took time to renovate our bond, but we eventually regenerated the connection. That experience taught me the value of forgiveness and emotional maturity in rebuilding meaningful ties. Persist despite. To continue firmly in the face of difficulty or opposition. Keep going. Endure. Persevere. Stick with. How do people persist despite repeated failures? People persist despite failures by keeping going even when results are discouraging. They endure criticism and persevere through setbacks. Those who stick with their goals often find success eventually. It's about believing in the process and learning from each mistake rather than giving up. Challenge the limits of. To test or go beyond boundaries or expectations. Push boundaries. Define norms. Stretch limits. Break barriers. Can you describe a time when you challenged the limits of your abilities? I challenged the limits of my abilities when I trained for a marathon. I had to push boundaries of endurance and define norms of my usual routine. Each day, I stretched limits physically and mentally. Eventually, I broke barriers I never thought possible. That journey reshaped my understanding of discipline and self-belief. Test one's resolve. To examine the strength of one's determination or commitment. Try one's will. Challenge stamina. Probe determination. Examine grit. Have you ever faced a situation that tested your resolve? Yes. Preparing for my university entrance exam truly tested my resolve. It tried my willpower daily as I studied for hours. The process challenged my stamina and probed my determination. I had to examine my grit constantly to stay focused. That phase taught me that true commitment is forged under pressure. Algorithm. A set of rules or instructions given to an AI or computer to solve a problem or perform a task. Procedure. Formula. Sequence. Protocol. How important are algorithms in modern technology? Algorithms are absolutely crucial in today's tech-driven world. Whether it's a search engine using a complex formula to deliver results, or a social media platform relying on a sequence of steps to curate content, these procedures shape our digital experience. Even financial systems follow strict protocols based on algorithms. Automate. To make a process operate by itself using technology, especially AI. Mechanize. Streamline. Robotize. Systematize. Do you think automation is beneficial for society? I believe automation has significantly benefited society. By mechanizing repetitive tasks, companies can streamline operations and boost efficiency. For example, factories have robotized production lines, reducing human error. Moreover, systematizing workflows allows professionals to focus on more strategic and creative tasks. Automatic. Operating by itself without human intervention. Self-operating. Unmanned. Autonomous. Programmed. What are the advantages of automatic systems in daily life? Automatic systems offer immense convenience. For instance, self-operating appliances like washing machines save time. Unmanned vehicles, such as drones, are revolutionizing delivery services. Autonomous cars are becoming safer alternatives, and programmed thermostats help manage energy efficiently without constant human input. Autonomous. Capable of operating independently without human control. Self-governing. Independent. Unsupervised. Self-directed. Do you think autonomous machines will replace human workers in the future? Autonomous machines are increasingly capable of performing tasks without supervision. For example, self-governing vehicles and independent drones are transforming logistics. While some fear job loss, these self-directed systems can enhance productivity and safety. Ultimately, a balance between human oversight and unsupervised tech is essential. AI-driven, powered or guided by artificial intelligence. AI-based, machine-led, intelligence-enabled, smart-powered. How do AI-driven technologies influence our daily routines? AI-driven technologies have revolutionized daily life. From AI-based assistants managing schedules to machine-led recommendations on streaming platforms, we're surrounded by intelligence-enabled systems. These smart-powered tools not only save time, but also personalize experiences, making routines more efficient and enjoyable. AI-powered, functioning with the support of artificial intelligence. AI-enabled, intelligence-backed, smart-operated, machine-supported. What are the benefits of AI-powered applications in education? AI-powered applications have transformed education. For instance, AI-enabled platforms offer personalized learning paths. Intelligence-backed tutors adapt to student needs, while smart-operated tools assess progress. These machine-supported systems foster engagement and help learners achieve better outcomes with tailored support. AI-controlled, directed or managed by artificial intelligence. AI-managed, intelligence-directed, machine-regulated, smart-monitored. Do you think AI-controlled systems are reliable in critical sectors like healthcare? AI-controlled systems are increasingly reliable in healthcare. AI-managed diagnostics can detect diseases early, while intelligence-directed robots assist in surgeries. Machine-regulated monitoring ensures precision, and smart-monitored alerts help prevent emergencies. These technologies enhance accuracy and reduce human error significantly. Simulation, a virtual representation or imitation of a real-world process. Emulation, modeling, imitation, replication. How useful are simulations in professional training environments? Simulations are incredibly useful in training. For example, flight emulation helps pilots practice safely. Medical modeling allows surgeons to rehearse procedures. These imitation environments replicate real scenarios, building confidence and skill. Replication of complex systems ensures learners are well prepared for real-world challenges. Big data, extremely large and complex data sets that require advanced tools to analyze. Massive data, large-scale data, extensive data, high-volume data. How does big data impact decision-making in modern businesses? Big data plays a pivotal role in business strategy today. By analyzing massive data sets, companies gain insights into customer behavior. Large-scale data allows for predictive modeling, while extensive data helps identify trends. With high-volume data, firms can make informed decisions that enhance efficiency and competitiveness. Personalized learning, tailoring educational content and pace to suit individual learner needs. Customized learning, adaptive learning, individualized instruction, tailored education. What are the advantages of personalized learning in schools? Personalized learning has revolutionized education. With customized learning plans, students progress at their own pace. Adaptive learning technologies adjust content based on performance. Individualized instruction ensures each learner's needs are met, and tailored education fosters engagement, making learning more effective and enjoyable. Boost productivity to increase efficiency and output in work or processes. Enhance efficiency, improve output, maximize performance. Accelerate workflow. How can AI help boost productivity in the workplace? AI can significantly boost productivity across industries. It helps enhance efficiency by automating routine tasks. Tools that improve output allow employees to focus on strategic goals. AI systems maximize performance through data-driven insights and accelerate workflow by streamlining communication and task management. Generate ideas. To create or come up with new thoughts, concepts, or solutions. Brainstorm. Innovate. Conceive. Formulate. How do creative professionals generate ideas using technology? Creative professionals often rely on technology to generate ideas. AI tools help them brainstorm concepts quickly. Platforms designed to innovate offer inspiration from global trends. Artists and writers conceive new themes using digital prompts, and many formulate strategies by analyzing audience data and feedback through intelligent systems. Next-door neighbor. A person living in the house or apartment directly beside yours. Adjacent resident. Immediate neighbor. Side-by-side dweller. Neighboring occupant. Do you get along well with your next-door neighbor? Yes, I do. My next-door neighbor is incredibly friendly. As an adjacent resident, she often helps me with small errands. Being an immediate neighbor, we share a lot of daily interactions. I appreciate having a side-by-side dweller who respects boundaries. And as a neighboring occupant, she's always considerate about noise and shared spaces. Close neighbor. Someone who lives nearby and maintains a familiar or friendly relationship. Nearby resident. Friendly neighbor. Familiar face. Local companion. How important is it to have a close neighbor you can rely on? I think having a close neighbor is extremely valuable. My nearby resident is someone I trust deeply. As a friendly neighbor, he's always willing to lend a hand. He's become a familiar face in my daily routine, and having a local companion makes the neighborhood feel safer and more connected. It builds a sense of community that's hard to replace. Upstairs neighbor. A person living in the apartment directly above yours. Upper floor resident. Overhead neighbor. Top-level dweller. Above unit occupant. Have you ever had any issues with your upstairs neighbor? Yes, I've had a few minor issues with my upstairs neighbor. As an upper floor resident, he sometimes plays loud music late at night. Being an overhead neighbor, the sound travels easily. However, as a top-level dweller, he's also very polite and responsive when I raise concerns. I appreciate that my above-unit occupant is willing to compromise and maintain harmony. Downstairs neighbor. A person living in the apartment directly below yours. Lower floor resident. Beneath unit occupant. Ground-level neighbor. Sublevel dweller. Have you ever had a good relationship with your downstairs neighbor? Yes, I've had a great relationship with my downstairs neighbor. As a lower floor resident, she's always been respectful about noise. My beneath unit occupant even waters my plants when I'm away. Having a ground level neighbor who's so thoughtful makes living here pleasant. I truly appreciate my sublevel dweller's kindness and reliability. Neighbor opposite. A person living directly across from your home or apartment. Facing neighbor. Across the street resident. Opposing dweller. Front-facing occupant. Do you often interact with your neighbor opposite? Yes, I often interact with my neighbor opposite. My facing neighbor is very sociable, and we frequently chat in the mornings. As an across-the-street resident, he's always waving hello. I find my opposing dweller to be quite helpful, especially during emergencies. Having a front-facing occupant like him adds warmth to the neighborhood. In close proximity. Located very near or adjacent to something or someone. Nearby. Within reach. Close by. Immediate vicinity. Do you prefer living in close proximity to your workplace? Absolutely. Living in close proximity to my workplace is a huge advantage. Being nearby saves me time and energy. Everything is within reach, which makes daily routines smoother. I enjoy having amenities close by, and being in the immediate vicinity of my office helps me maintain a better work-life balance. Friendly neighbor. A neighbor who is kind, approachable, and sociable. Warm-hearted neighbor. Amiable resident. Cordial dweller. Pleasant companion. What are the benefits of having a friendly neighbor? Having a friendly neighbor is a blessing. My warm-hearted neighbor always greets me with a smile. As an amiable resident, she's easy to talk to and very supportive. I find my cordial dweller to be a great listener, and having a pleasant companion nearby makes the environment more welcoming and less stressful. Good neighbor. A neighbor who is respectful, helpful, and considerate. Responsible resident. Thoughtful dweller. Cooperative occupant. Reliable companion. What qualities make someone a good neighbor? A good neighbor is someone who's respectful and considerate. My responsible resident always keeps noise levels low. As a thoughtful dweller, she checks in during emergencies. I appreciate having a cooperative occupant who shares community responsibilities. A reliable companion like her makes the neighborhood feel safe and harmonious. Bad neighbor. A neighbor who is disruptive, inconsiderate, or unfriendly. Noisy resident. Rude dweller. Uncooperative occupant. Troublesome companion. Have you ever dealt with a bad neighbor? Yes, I once had a bad neighbor who made life difficult. He was a noisy resident, playing loud music at odd hours. As a rude dweller, he never greeted anyone. My uncooperative occupant refused to follow building rules, and this troublesome companion often caused disputes. It was a stressful experience that affected my peace of mind. To be good to someone. To treat someone with kindness, respect, and generosity. Be kind. Show compassion. Act generously. Treat respectfully. Do you think it's important to be good to your neighbors? Yes, I believe it's essential to be good to your neighbors. I always try to be kind and show compassion, especially during tough times. Acting generously, like sharing food or helping with chores, builds trust. When you treat others respectfully, it fosters a peaceful and supportive community where everyone feels valued. Fall out with a neighbor. To have a disagreement or conflict that damages the relationship. Argue with. Clash with. Dispute with. Quarrel with. Have you ever fallen out with a neighbor? Yes, I once fell out with a neighbor over parking issues. We argued frequently and eventually clashed with each other during a meeting. The dispute with him escalated, and we even quarreled in front of others. It was unfortunate, but later we resolved things and learned to communicate better. Have an argument. To engage in a verbal disagreement or conflict. Disagree. Fight verbally. Exchange harsh words. Debate intensely. Is it common for neighbors to have arguments? Yes, it's quite common for neighbors to have an argument, especially over shared spaces. People often disagree about noise or cleanliness. Sometimes they fight verbally, and harsh words are exchanged. In some cases, they debate intensely over rules. However, most arguments can be resolved with patience and mutual understanding. Make life a nightmare. To cause extreme stress, discomfort, or difficulty in daily life. Ruin daily life. Cause misery. Create chaos. Make existence unbearable. Have you ever lived in a situation that made life a nightmare? Yes, I once lived next to a neighbor who made life a nightmare. He would ruin daily life with constant noise and arguments. His behavior caused misery for everyone in the building. It felt like he was trying to create chaos intentionally. Honestly, his actions made existence unbearable, and I had to move out to restore my peace of mind. Cultural proverb. A traditional saying that reflects the values or beliefs of a culture. Folk saying. Traditional maxim. Ethnic expression. Heritage idiom. Do you think cultural proverbs are still relevant today? Absolutely. Cultural proverbs are still relevant today. A folk saying often carries timeless wisdom. For example, the traditional maxim, unity is strength, still applies in modern society. These ethnic expressions help preserve identity and values. I believe heritage idioms offer insight into how communities think and behave, even across generations. Dispute. A disagreement or argument between people or groups. Conflict. Quarrel. Debate. Clash. What's the best way to resolve a dispute between neighbors? I think the best way to resolve a dispute is through open communication. A conflict often escalates when people avoid talking. I've seen a quarrel turn into a long-term feud. If both parties agree to a calm debate, they can find common ground. Avoiding a clash and seeking compromise is key to maintaining harmony in any neighborhood. Disagreement. A situation where people have different opinions and fail to agree. Difference of opinion. Argument. Dissent. Discord. Do you think disagreements are always negative? Not necessarily. A disagreement can lead to growth if handled respectfully. A difference of opinion allows people to see new perspectives. While an argument may feel uncomfortable, it can clarify misunderstandings. Dissent is vital in democratic settings, and even discord can spark innovation when managed constructively. Falling out. A breakdown in a relationship due to a disagreement or conflict. Rift. Breakup. Estrangement. Separation. Have you ever had a falling out with a close friend? Yes, I had a falling out with a close friend over a business decision. The rift grew when we couldn't agree on priorities. Eventually, it led to a breakup of our partnership. That estrangement lasted for months, and the emotional separation was difficult. Thankfully, we reconciled and learned to communicate better. Brawl. A noisy, physical fight involving multiple people, often in public. Scuffle. Melee. Fracas. Altercation. Have you ever seen a brawl in a public place? Yes, I once saw a brawl outside a stadium after a football match. The scuffle started between two fans and quickly turned into a melee involving dozens. It was a chaotic fracas, with people shouting and pushing. The altercation was eventually controlled by security, but it showed how emotions can spiral out of control in crowds. Row. A noisy argument or dispute, often between people who know each other. Spat. Altercation. Squabble. Blow up. Have you ever witnessed a row between neighbors? Yes, I once witnessed a row between two neighbors over parking space. The spat began with raised voices and quickly turned into a heated altercation. It was more than a simple squabble. It felt like a full-blown blow-up. Eventually, the building manager had to intervene to calm things down and restore peace. It was quite unsettling to watch. Quarrel. A verbal disagreement, often between people who have a close relationship. Argument. Dispute. Clash. Tiff. Do you think quarrels are common in families? Yes, quarrels are quite common in families. An argument can arise from simple misunderstandings. I've seen disputes over chores or finances escalate quickly. Even a minor clash of opinions can lead to a tiff. However, most family quarrels are short-lived and often resolved with open communication and mutual respect. They're part of human relationships. Fight. A physical or verbal confrontation between individuals or groups. Battle. Scuffle. Combat. Struggle. Have you ever been involved in a fight? I've never been involved in a physical fight, but I did witness a verbal battle at school. It started as a scuffle between two classmates and escalated into a full-blown combat of words. The emotional struggle was intense, and teachers had to step in. It reminded me how quickly tempers can flare and how important self-control is. Get on well with. To have a friendly and harmonious relationship with someone. Be friendly with. Have a good rapport. Be on good terms. Relate positively. Do you get on well with your colleagues? Yes, I get on well with my colleagues. I try to be friendly with everyone, which helps build trust. We have a good rapport, especially during team projects. I'm fortunate to be on good terms with my manager too. When you relate positively with coworkers, the workplace becomes more productive and enjoyable. It really boosts morale. Community of neighbors. A group of people living near each other who interact regularly. Neighborhood group. Residential circle. Local residents. Nearby dwellers. How important is a strong community of neighbors in urban areas? A strong community of neighbors is essential in urban areas. When you have a neighborhood group that supports each other, life becomes more manageable. In our residential circle, we share responsibilities and look out for one another. Local residents often organize events, and nearby dwellers help create a sense of safety and belonging. It's truly invaluable. Community. A group of people sharing common interests, location, or values. Society. Collective. Population. Social group. What role does community play in shaping individual behavior? Community plays a vital role in shaping individual behavior. In a society, norms and values guide actions. Being part of a collective helps people feel accountable. The population around us influences our habits, and a strong social group can encourage positive change. I believe community is the backbone of personal development and social harmony. Retired residents. People who have stopped working and live in a residential area. Elderly citizens. Pensioners. Senior dwellers. Aged inhabitants. What contributions can retired residents make to a neighborhood? Retired residents contribute immensely to a neighborhood. Elderly citizens often have time to volunteer and share wisdom. Pensioners may help with community gardening or mentoring youth. Senior dwellers bring stability, and aged inhabitants often foster traditions. Their presence adds depth and continuity to the social fabric of any area. Opposite the church. Located directly across from a church building. Facing the chapel. Across from the sanctuary. In front of the parish. Adjacent to the cathedral. Have you ever lived opposite the church? Yes, I once lived opposite the church in my hometown. Facing the chapel gave me a peaceful view every morning. Being across from the sanctuary meant I heard bells regularly. Living in front of the parish created a sense of tradition, and being adjacent to the cathedral made me feel spiritually connected to the community. Issue with my neighbor. A problem or conflict involving someone living nearby. Dispute with neighbor. Conflict with resident. Problem with occupant. Tension with dweller. Have you ever had an issue with your neighbor? Yes, I had an issue with my neighbor regarding noise. The dispute with my neighbor started when they played loud music late at night. This conflict with the resident affected my sleep. It became a recurring problem with the occupant and eventually led to tension with the dweller. We resolved it through a respectful conversation and compromise. Get on with someone. To have a friendly and harmonious relationship with another person. Get along. Relate well. Be compatible. Hit it off. Do you think it's important to get on with your colleagues at work? Absolutely. I believe getting on with colleagues is vital for a productive environment. When people get along and relate well, it fosters teamwork. Personally, I hit it off with my team because we're compatible in values and communication. Get along well. To maintain a smooth and cooperative relationship with someone. Cooperate. Harmonize. Be friendly. Connect well. How do you get along well with people from different cultures? I try to cooperate and harmonize with others by being open-minded. Being friendly and showing respect helps me connect well with people from diverse backgrounds. This approach allows me to get along well with almost anyone. Superficial relationship. A relationship lacking depth, emotional connection, or genuine understanding. Shallow bond. Surface level. Casual tie. Fleeting link. Why do some people prefer superficial relationships over deeper ones? Some people prefer superficial relationships because they're easier to manage. A shallow bond or surface-level connection doesn't demand emotional investment. Casual ties and fleeting links offer flexibility without the pressure of commitment. Close relationship. A deep, emotionally connected and trusting bond between individuals. Intimate bond. Strong tie. Deep connection. Trusted link. Can you describe a close relationship you have with someone? I share a close relationship with my sister. We have an intimate bond built on trust and understanding. Our strong tie has grown over years, and the deep connection we share makes her my most trusted link in life. Wonderful bond. A beautiful and emotionally fulfilling connection between people. Amazing link. Beautiful tie. Heartfelt connection. Special relationship. What makes a wonderful bond between two people? A wonderful bond is built on mutual respect and shared experiences. I have an amazing link with my childhood friend. Our beautiful tie is strengthened by heartfelt connections and a special relationship that has stood the test of time. Collaboration. The act of working jointly with others to achieve a shared goal. Partnership. Teamwork. Cooperation. Alliance. How important is collaboration in academic or professional settings? Collaboration is absolutely vital in both academic and professional contexts. When individuals engage in teamwork or partnership, they combine their strengths. This alliance fosters innovation and cooperation, leading to more effective problem solving. Coordinate. To organize people or activities so that they work effectively together. Align. Manage. Synchronize. Arrange. Can you describe a situation where you had to coordinate a group task? Yes, during university, I had to coordinate a group presentation. I managed the timeline, aligned everyone's roles, and arranged meetings to synchronize our efforts. This helped us deliver a cohesive and well-structured presentation. Cooperate. To work together willingly for a common purpose. Synergy. The increased effectiveness that results when people or groups work together. Harmony. Integration. Collaboration. Collective power. What does synergy mean to you in a team environment? In a team, synergy means that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. When there's harmony and integration among members, their collaboration leads to collective power. This synergy often results in outcomes that exceed expectations. Team dynamics. The behavioral relationships between members of a team. Group behavior. Team chemistry. Interaction. Interpersonal flow. How do team dynamics affect productivity? Team dynamics play a crucial role in productivity. Positive group behavior and strong team chemistry lead to better interaction and interpersonal flow. When dynamics are healthy, members feel valued and motivated, which enhances overall performance. Delegation. The act of assigning tasks or responsibilities to others. Assignment. Distribution. Allocation. Entrustment. How important is delegation in leadership roles? Delegation is essential in leadership because it allows for effective task distribution and resource allocation. When leaders entrust responsibilities through assignment or delegation, they empower their team and ensure that work is managed efficiently. Accountability. The obligation to accept responsibility for actions or decisions. Responsibility. Answerability. Liability. Ownership. Do you think accountability improves workplace performance? Absolutely. Accountability fosters a sense of ownership and responsibility. When individuals understand their liability and answerability, they are more likely to perform diligently. This culture of accountability enhances trust and productivity. Consensus. General agreement among a group. Accord. Harmony. Unanimity, common ground. Is reaching consensus always necessary in group decisions? Reaching consensus is often vital in group settings. It promotes harmony and ensures everyone feels heard. While unanimity isn't always possible, finding common ground or accord helps teams move forward with shared commitment and reduced conflict. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Compassion, understanding. Sensitivity, kindness. How does empathy influence interpersonal relationships? Empathy plays a pivotal role in relationships. When people show compassion and sensitivity, they build trust. Understanding others' emotions and responding with kindness creates deeper connections and reduces misunderstandings in both personal and professional life. Conflict resolution, the process of resolving a dispute or disagreement peacefully. Mediation, settlement, reconciliation, negotiation. What are effective strategies for conflict resolution? Effective conflict resolution involves negotiation and mediation. Reconciliation requires empathy and patience. When parties aim for settlement rather than confrontation, they foster a healthier environment and often reach mutually beneficial outcomes. Feedback, information given about performance or behavior to improve it. Evaluation, critique, response, comment. How do you usually respond to feedback? I value feedback immensely. Whether it's a critique or a comment, it helps me grow. Constructive evaluation allows me to reflect and improve. I always try to respond positively to any form of response, seeing it as an opportunity for development. Volunteering, offering services or help without expecting payment. Service, contribution, philanthropy, community work. What motivates people to engage in volunteering? Volunteering is often driven by a desire to contribute to society. People engage in community work or philanthropy to make a difference. This form of service fosters empathy and builds stronger communities, offering personal fulfillment beyond financial gain. Pull your weight. To do your fair share of work. Contribute. Carry your load. Do your part. Fulfill duty. Why is it important for team members to pull their weight? In any team, it's crucial that everyone pulls their weight. When individuals contribute and fulfill their duty, it creates balance. If someone doesn't carry their load or do their part, it can lead to frustration and hinder the team's overall success. All hands on deck. Everyone is needed to help with a task. Full effort. Collective action. Total involvement. Unified support. Can you describe a time when it was all hands on deck? During a product launch at my internship, it was truly all hands on deck. Everyone gave their full effort and unified support. The collective action and total involvement ensured we met the deadline. It was a powerful example of teamwork under pressure. Bounce ideas off someone. To share thoughts with someone to get feedback or spark creativity. Brainstorm. Discuss. Exchange views. Consult. Do you often bounce ideas off others when working on a project? Yes, I regularly bounce ideas off my colleagues, especially during brainstorming sessions. It's helpful to exchange views and consult others to refine concepts. This kind of discussion often leads to more innovative outcomes than working in isolation. Bring to the table. To contribute something valuable to a discussion or project. Offer. Provide. Deliver. Present. What do you usually bring to the table in group work? In group settings, I try to bring to the table strong organizational skills and creativity. I often offer fresh perspectives, provide structure, and deliver results. Everyone should present their strengths to ensure the team functions effectively. Pull together. To unite and work cooperatively to achieve a goal. Collaborate. Combine efforts. Join forces. Work as one. Can you describe a time when your team had to pull together? During a charity event, our team had to pull together under tight deadlines. We collaborated closely, combined efforts, and worked as one. That unity helped us overcome challenges and deliver a successful outcome despite limited resources. Coordinate efforts. To organize and align actions among people for a shared goal. Synchronize. Align. Integrate. Manage. How do you ensure successful coordination of efforts in a team? Successful coordination of efforts requires clear communication. I usually align tasks, synchronize timelines, and integrate everyone's strengths. Managing expectations and responsibilities ensures that the team moves forward smoothly and efficiently. High level of collaboration. Intense and effective teamwork among individuals or groups. Strong teamwork. Deep cooperation. Unified effort. Active engagement. Why is a high level of collaboration important in modern workplaces? A high level of collaboration is crucial today. It involves strong teamwork and active engagement. When people show deep cooperation and unified effort, they solve problems faster and foster innovation. It's the backbone of successful organizations. Powerful synergy. Exceptional results achieved when people work well together. Dynamic unity. Productive fusion. Effective teamwork. Amplified impact. Can you give an example of powerful synergy in a team setting? In my last internship, our marketing and design teams created a campaign that showed powerful synergy. The dynamic unity and productive fusion of ideas led to an amplified impact. That effective teamwork made the campaign both memorable and successful. Team cohesion. The degree to which team members bond and work well together. Unity. Solidarity. Togetherness. Group harmony. What factors contribute to strong team cohesion? Strong team cohesion stems from trust, shared goals, and open communication. When there's unity and solidarity, people feel connected. Togetherness and group harmony reduce conflict and increase productivity, making the team more resilient and effective. Cross-functional collaboration. Cooperation between different departments or skill sets. Interdisciplinary teamwork. Interdepartmental effort. Multi-skilled cooperation. Integrated approach. How does cross-functional collaboration benefit an organization? Cross-functional collaboration brings diverse expertise together. Through interdisciplinary teamwork and integrated approaches, organizations solve complex problems. This multi-skilled cooperation and interdepartmental effort foster innovation and strategic thinking. Emergency ward. A hospital section for urgent medical care for critically ill patients. ER, emergency room. Trauma center. Casualty unit. Acute care unit. Have you ever visited an emergency ward or similar facility? Yes. I once had to accompany a friend to the emergency ward after a car accident. The ER staff were incredibly efficient, and the trauma center was well equipped. The casualty unit handled everything swiftly, and the acute care unit ensured he stabilized quickly. It was intense, but reassuring to see how prepared they were. Operating theater. A sterile room in a hospital where surgical procedures are performed. Surgery room, or operating room. Surgical suite. Procedure room. What do you think about the environment of an operating theater? I believe the operating theater is a place of precision and discipline. The surgery room is sterile and meticulously organized. In the OR, every movement matters. The surgical suite is designed for optimal efficiency, and the procedure room often feels like the heart of medical innovation. It's a space where lives are transformed. Surgery. A medical procedure involving an incision to treat or remove a condition. Operation. Procedure. Surgical intervention. Medical treatment. Do you think surgery is always necessary for treating health issues? Not always, but surgery can be life-saving. In some cases, an operation is the only viable solution. While certain conditions respond to non-invasive procedures, others demand surgical intervention. Medical treatment varies, but when surgery is required, it's often the most effective path to recovery. It's a decision that must be made carefully. Surgeon, a medical doctor who performs operations to treat injuries or diseases. Operating doctor, surgical specialist, medical operator, clinical surgeon. What qualities do you think are important for a surgeon? I think a surgeon must possess precision and calmness under pressure. An operating doctor needs steady hands and sharp decision-making. A surgical specialist should also be empathetic. The medical operator must work well with a team, and a clinical surgeon should always stay updated with new techniques. These qualities ensure patient safety and successful outcomes. In surgery, the state of undergoing a medical operation, under operation, in procedure, in the OR, undergoing treatment. Have you ever seen someone in surgery or been in surgery yourself? Yes, I once observed a relative while they were in surgery for a heart condition. They were under operation for several hours. Being in procedure meant they were closely monitored in the OR. It was a tense time, but knowing they were undergoing treatment by skilled professionals gave us hope and reassurance. Admitted to the hospital, officially accepted into a hospital for medical care, hospitalized, taken in, registered as patient, received for care. Have you ever been admitted to the hospital or known someone who was? Yes, my grandfather was admitted to the hospital last year due to pneumonia. He was hospitalized for a week. The staff took him in quickly and registered him as a patient. He was received for care in the respiratory unit, and the treatment he got was excellent. It was a relief to see him recover steadily. Inpatient ward, a hospital section where patients stay overnight for treatment. Hospital stay unit, overnight care ward, admitted patient area, long-term care section. What do you think about the facilities in inpatient wards? I believe inpatient wards should be comfortable and well-equipped. The hospital stay unit must offer clean beds and attentive staff. The overnight care ward should ensure patients feel safe. In the admitted patient area, privacy is important. The long-term care section must also provide emotional support, especially for those with chronic conditions. Outpatient ward, a hospital section for patients who receive care without overnight stay. Daycare unit, ambulatory ward, walk-in clinic, non-admission section. Do you think outpatient wards are effective for treatment? Yes, outpatient wards are very efficient for minor treatments. The daycare unit allows patients to get care without long waits. Ambulatory wards are ideal for follow-ups. Walk-in clinics offer flexibility, and the non-admission section helps reduce hospital congestion. These facilities make healthcare more accessible and less stressful for patients. Radiology technologist, a healthcare professional who performs diagnostic imaging procedures. X-ray technician, imaging specialist. Radiographer, diagnostic imaging expert. What role does a radiology technologist play in healthcare? A radiology technologist plays a vital role in diagnosis. The X-ray technician captures internal images that help doctors make decisions. Imaging specialists use advanced tools like CT and MRI. Radiographers ensure safety during procedures. A diagnostic imaging expert must be precise, as their work directly influences treatment plans. Cardiologist, a doctor who specializes in diagnosing and treating heart conditions. Heart specialist, cardiac physician, cardiovascular doctor, heart care expert. Why do you think cardiologists are important in modern medicine? Cardiologists are essential because heart diseases are increasingly common. A heart specialist can detect issues early. Cardiac physicians use advanced tools to monitor heart health. Cardiovascular doctors often perform life-saving procedures. A heart care expert also educates patients on lifestyle changes. which is crucial for long-term wellness. Neurologist, a medical specialist who treats disorders of the brain and nervous system. Brain doctor, nerve specialist, neurophysician, neurological expert. What kind of conditions does a neurologist usually treat? A neurologist treats a wide range of conditions like epilepsy and Parkinson's. A brain doctor focuses on cognitive disorders. Nerve specialists manage pain and motor issues. Neurophysicians often deal with strokes. A neurological expert must be highly skilled, as the nervous system is complex and delicate. Their role is both diagnostic and therapeutic. Dermatologist, a medical specialist who diagnoses and treats skin conditions. Skin doctor, dermatology expert, skin care physician, cutaneous specialist. Have you ever consulted a dermatologist for any skin issues? Yes, I visited a dermatologist last year due to persistent acne. The skin doctor was very thorough in diagnosing the issue. The dermatology expert prescribed a treatment plan that worked wonders. I appreciated how the skincare physician explained everything clearly. The cutaneous specialist also emphasized lifestyle changes, which helped me maintain healthier skin. Physician, a medical doctor who diagnoses and treats general illnesses. Medical doctor, general practitioner, clinical expert, healthcare provider. What do you think makes a good physician? A good physician must be compassionate and knowledgeable. A medical doctor should listen attentively to patients. General practitioners often deal with a wide range of conditions, so adaptability is key. Clinical experts must stay updated with medical advancements. A reliable healthcare provider also builds trust, which is essential for effective treatment. Medical practitioner, a licensed professional who provides medical care. Health professional, licensed doctor, clinical provider, medical expert. Do you think medical practitioners should specialize or remain generalists? I believe both roles are important. A medical practitioner who specializes can offer deeper insights into specific conditions. However, a health professional with general skills is essential for primary care. Licensed doctors often refer patients to specialists. Clinical providers must balance knowledge and empathy. A medical expert should always prioritize patient well-being. Registered nurse, a certified nurse who provides direct patient care. Certified nurse, licensed nurse, clinical nurse, nursing professional. What role do registered nurses play in hospitals? Registered nurses are the backbone of hospital care. A certified nurse monitors patients and administers medication. Licensed nurses often coordinate with doctors. Clinical nurses provide emotional support and technical care. Nursing professionals also educate patients and families, making them essential for recovery and comfort. Their dedication is truly admirable. Healthcare worker, a person involved in delivering health services. Medical staff, health provider, caregiver, clinical personnel. What challenges do healthcare workers face today? Healthcare workers face immense pressure, especially post-pandemic. Medical staff often work long hours with limited resources. Health providers must manage both physical and emotional demands. Caregivers deal with patients suffering daily. Clinical personnel also face risks of infection and burnout. Despite these challenges, their resilience is inspiring. National Health Service, NHS. The publicly funded healthcare system in the UK. Public health system. Government-funded care. State medical service. Universal healthcare provider. What do you think about the role of the NHS in society? The National Health Service plays a vital role in ensuring equal access to healthcare. As a public health system, it provides treatment regardless of income. This government-funded care model reduces inequality. The state medical service also supports preventive care. A universal healthcare provider like the NHS is essential for a healthy, productive population. Rising cost. An increase in the price or expense of goods or services. Escalating expense. Growing expenditure. Increasing charges. Surging fees. How does the rising cost of healthcare affect people? The rising cost of healthcare is a major concern. Escalating expenses make it harder for low-income families to afford treatment. Growing expenditure on insurance and medication adds financial pressure. Increasing charges for basic services can lead to delayed care. Surging fees also discourage routine checkups, which impacts long-term health outcomes. Private healthcare. Healthcare services funded by individuals or insurance, not the state. Non-public care. Commercial medical service. Privately funded treatment. Independent healthcare system. Do you think private healthcare is better than public healthcare? Private healthcare offers faster access and more personalized treatment. Non-public care often has shorter waiting times. Commercial medical services may provide advanced technology. Privately funded treatment can be more comfortable. However, an independent healthcare system is expensive and not accessible to everyone, which raises concerns about fairness and equality. Public healthcare. Healthcare services provided and funded by the government. State-funded care. Government medical service. National health system. Publicly supported treatment. What are the advantages of public health care? Public health care ensures that everyone has access to medical services. State-funded care reduces financial barriers. Government medical services are often more inclusive. The national health system promotes preventive care. Publicly supported treatment also helps manage public health emergencies effectively, making it a cornerstone of a stable society. Social care supports services for vulnerable individuals, including elderly and disabled. Welfare support, community care, assisted living, human services. Why is social care important in modern society? Social care is essential for maintaining dignity and independence. Welfare support helps those who cannot care for themselves. Community care provides emotional and physical assistance. Assisted living ensures safety and comfort. Human services also reduce the burden on hospitals by offering long-term support in homes and care facilities. Disability, a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements or activities. Impairment, limitation, handicap, functional challenge. How can society better support people with disabilities? Society must be more inclusive of people with disabilities. Addressing impairment through accessible infrastructure is key. Limitation should not mean exclusion. Handicap-friendly policies in education and employment help integration. Supporting those with functional challenges also involves changing attitudes and promoting equal opportunities. Preventative care. Medical practices aimed at preventing illness before it occurs. Proactive treatment. Health maintenance. Disease prevention. Wellness strategy. Do you think preventative care is more important than treatment? Yes, preventative care is crucial for long-term health. Proactive treatment reduces the risk of chronic diseases. Health maintenance through regular checkups saves lives. Disease prevention is more cost-effective than emergency care. A strong wellness strategy also promotes healthier lifestyles, reducing the burden on healthcare systems. Exhausting, causing extreme physical or mental fatigue. Tiring, fatiguing, draining, depleting. Can you describe a time when you had an exhausting experience? Last year, I had an exhausting week preparing for final exams. It was incredibly tiring to study for hours each day. The schedule was fatiguing and left little time for rest. It felt draining to manage multiple subjects. The whole process was mentally depleting, but I learned a lot about resilience and time management. Draining, emotionally or physically exhausting. Depleting, exhausting, fatiguing, wearing. What kind of tasks do you find most draining? I find repetitive administrative tasks very draining. They are mentally depleting and offer little stimulation. Such work becomes exhausting after a few hours. It's also fatiguing when deadlines pile up. The process is wearing, especially when there's no creative outlet. I prefer tasks that challenge me intellectually and allow for variety. Impatient, unable to wait calmly or tolerate delays. Restless, irritable, short-tempered, anxious. Are you an impatient person, or do you handle delays well? I try to be patient, but I can be impatient in stressful situations. I become restless when things move slowly. Sometimes I get irritable during long queues. I've noticed I'm short-tempered when deadlines are tight. Feeling anxious about time makes me rush, but I'm working on staying calm and managing expectations better. Community energy. Energy projects owned and operated by local groups or residents. Local power. Civic energy. Shared energy. Collective energy. How important is community energy in today's society? Community energy plays a vital role in empowering local groups to take control of their energy needs. By promoting local power and civic energy initiatives, communities reduce reliance on centralized systems. Shared energy projects also foster collaboration and sustainability, making collective energy a cornerstone of future development. Energy storage. The process of storing energy for later use. Power retention. Energy reserve. Stored electricity. Battery capacity. What are the benefits of energy storage systems? Energy storage is essential for balancing supply and demand. With power retention technologies like batteries, we can store electricity during peak production and use it later. This energy reserve ensures reliability, and stored electricity helps stabilize grids. Battery capacity also supports renewable integration, making it a smart investment. Sustainable power. Energy generated in ways that do not deplete natural resources. Renewable energy. Clean power. Eco-friendly energy. Green electricity. Why is sustainable power crucial for the environment? Sustainable power is crucial because it reduces environmental degradation. Renewable energy sources like wind and solar offer clean power alternatives. Eco-friendly energy minimizes pollution, and green electricity helps combat climate change. Investing in sustainable power ensures a healthier planet for future generations. Green economy. An economy that aims for sustainable development without degrading the environment. Eco-economy. Sustainable market. Environmental economy. Low-carbon economy. Do you think the green economy is achievable globally? The green economy is achievable if nations commit to eco-economy principles. A sustainable market requires innovation and policy support. Environmental economy models promote resource efficiency, while a low-carbon economy reduces emissions. With global cooperation, transitioning to a green economy is not only possible but necessary. Solar heating. Using solar energy to heat water or air for domestic or industrial use. Sun-powered heating. Thermal solar. Solar thermal tech. Solar warmth. How effective is solar heating in reducing energy bills? Solar heating is highly effective in lowering energy costs. Sun-powered heating systems use natural resources, making them economical. Thermal solar solutions are efficient and reduce dependency on fossil fuels. With solar thermal tech, households enjoy consistent solar warmth, contributing to both savings and sustainability. Solar cell. A device that converts sunlight into electricity. Photovoltaic cell. Sun-powered chip. Solar panel unit. Light converter. What role do solar cells play in renewable energy adoption? Solar cells are fundamental to renewable energy adoption. Photovoltaic cells convert sunlight into usable electricity, making them ideal for homes and industries. A sun-powered chip is compact yet powerful. Solar panel units are scalable, and light converters help reduce carbon footprints. Their versatility makes solar cells a key technology in clean energy. Hydropower plant. A facility that generates electricity using flowing or falling water. Water power station. Hydroelectric facility. Renewable energy site. Aquatic energy hub. What are the advantages of building a hydropower plant in rural areas? A hydropower plant can bring immense benefits to rural areas. A water power station provides clean electricity and reduces dependence on fossil fuels. Hydroelectric facilities also create jobs and infrastructure. As a renewable energy site, it promotes sustainability, and aquatic energy hubs often support irrigation and flood control too. Hydropower dam. A dam built to store water and generate electricity through turbines. Water barrier. Hydro dam. Reservoir dam. Energy dam. What are the environmental impacts of constructing a hydropower dam? Constructing a hydropower dam can have both positive and negative environmental impacts. A water barrier helps control floods and store water, but it may disrupt ecosystems. Hydro dams often alter fish migration patterns. Reservoir dams can submerge forests, while energy dams may change sediment flow, affecting downstream agriculture and biodiversity. Geothermal energy. Heat energy derived from the Earth's internal sources. Earth heat power. Subsurface energy. Volcanic heat. Thermal ground energy. How viable is geothermal energy as a long-term solution to energy needs? Geothermal energy is a highly viable long-term solution. Earth heat power is consistent and not weather-dependent. Subsurface energy systems have low emissions and long lifespans. Volcanic heat can be harnessed in tectonic regions, and thermal ground energy offers a sustainable alternative to fossil fuels, especially for heating and electricity generation. Ecolinguistics. The study of how language influences and reflects ecological relationships. Environmental linguistics. Ecolanguage studies. Green discourse analysis. Sustainability communication. How can ecolinguistics help promote environmental awareness? Ecolinguistics plays a crucial role in shaping environmental awareness. Through environmental linguistics, we understand how words influence ecological behavior. Ecolanguage studies reveal how media frames nature. Green discourse analysis helps identify harmful narratives, while sustainability communication encourages responsible choices and fosters a deeper connection with the planet. Green speak. Language or rhetoric used to promote environmental awareness or values. Eco-rhetoric. Environmental discourse. Green messaging. Sustainability talk. How does green speak influence public attitudes toward climate change? Green speak plays a powerful role in shaping public perception of climate issues. Through eco-rhetoric, people are encouraged to adopt greener habits. Environmental discourse in media and politics helps normalize sustainable choices. Green messaging in advertising promotes eco-friendly products, while sustainability talk in education fosters long-term awareness and responsibility. Playing with fire. Engaging in risky or dangerous behavior that could lead to serious consequences. Taking a gamble. Flirting with danger. Risking it all. Walking a tightrope. Do you think young people today are playing with fire when it comes to online privacy? Yes. Many young people today are playing with fire when they share personal data online. They're taking a gamble with their privacy, often unaware of the long-term consequences. Flirting with danger by oversharing can lead to identity theft. Risking it all for likes or attention is common, and walking a tightrope between safety and exposure is increasingly risky. Cost a fortune. To be extremely expensive or require a large amount of money. Be pricey. Break the bank. Be exorbitant. Be costly. Why do some people still buy products that cost a fortune despite cheaper options? Some people buy products that cost a fortune because they associate them with quality or prestige. Even if they're pricey, these items often carry brand value. For some, breaking the bank is justified by durability or status. While they may be exorbitant, others see them as investments. Being costly doesn't deter those who prioritize long-term satisfaction. Drop the ball. To make a mistake or fail to do something important. Mess up, slip up, blunder, neglect. Can dropping the ball at work affect long-term career prospects? Absolutely. When someone drops the ball at work, especially on critical tasks, it can damage their reputation. A single mess-up might be forgiven, but repeated slip-ups show unreliability. A major blunder could cost promotions, and neglecting responsibilities consistently may lead to dismissal. Accountability is key to long-term career success. Know the ins and outs. To understand every detail or aspect of something. Be well-versed. Be knowledgeable. Be an expert. Be familiar. Why is it important to know the ins and outs of a profession before entering it? Knowing the ins and outs of a profession is essential for success. When you're well-versed in your field, you make informed decisions. Being knowledgeable helps you avoid common pitfalls. If you're an expert, you gain respect and trust. Even being familiar with basic operations can give you a competitive edge in any career. Go down a rabbit hole. To get deeply involved in something, often becoming distracted or overwhelmed. Get sidetracked. Dive deep. Lose track. Get absorbed. Have you ever gone down a rabbit hole while researching something online? Yes. I've often gone down a rabbit hole while researching online. I start with one topic and quickly get sidetracked by related articles. Sometimes I dive deep into forums or videos and lose track of time. It's easy to get absorbed in endless content, especially when the subject is fascinating or controversial. It's both enlightening and distracting. Overpopulation. A situation where the number of people exceeds the capacity of the environment to support them. Population explosion. Demographic overload. Excessive population. Crowded living. What are the consequences of overpopulation in urban areas? Overpopulation in urban areas leads to serious challenges. A population explosion strains infrastructure and resources. Demographic overload causes traffic congestion and pollution. Excessive population results in limited access to healthcare and education. Crowded living conditions also increase stress and reduce overall quality of life for residents. Food shortage. A lack of sufficient food to meet the nutritional needs of a population. Hunger crisis. Food insecurity. Scarcity of supplies. Nutritional deficit. What are the main causes of food shortage in developing countries? Food shortage in developing countries is often caused by poor infrastructure and climate change. A hunger crisis emerges when crops fail due to droughts. Food insecurity increases with political instability. Scarcity of supplies results from inefficient distribution systems, and nutritional deficits become widespread, especially among vulnerable populations like children and the elderly. Habitat destruction. The process by which natural environments are damaged or eliminated. Ecosystem loss. Environmental degradation. Biodiversity collapse. Natural habitat damage. What impact does habitat destruction have on wildlife? Habitat destruction has a devastating impact on wildlife. Ecosystem loss forces animals to migrate or perish. Environmental degradation reduces food sources and shelter. Biodiversity collapse occurs when species can no longer survive. Natural habitat damage also disrupts breeding patterns, leading to long-term ecological imbalance and extinction risks. Waste disposal. The process of discarding or managing unwanted materials. Garbage management. Trash removal. Refuse handling. Waste treatment. How can modern waste disposal methods help reduce pollution? Modern waste disposal methods are essential for reducing pollution. Effective garbage management ensures that harmful materials don't contaminate the environment. Trash removal systems like recycling and composting reduce landfill use. Refuse handling through segregation improves efficiency, and advanced waste treatment technologies help minimize toxic emissions and protect ecosystems. Global warming. The gradual increase in Earth's average temperature due to human activities. Planetary heating. Temperature rise. Earth warming. Climate heating. What are the long-term effects of global warming on ecosystems? Global warming has severe long-term effects on ecosystems. Planetary heating disrupts natural habitats and forces species to migrate or perish. The temperature rise affects breeding cycles and food chains. Earth warming leads to melting ice caps and rising sea levels. Climate heating also increases the frequency of extreme weather, threatening biodiversity and ecological balance. Biodiversity. The variety of life in the world or in a particular habitat or ecosystem. Biological variety. Species richness. Ecological diversity. Genetic variation. Why is biodiversity important for ecosystem stability? Biodiversity is essential for maintaining ecosystem stability. Biological variety ensures that species can adapt to changes. Species richness supports food chains and natural cycles. Ecological diversity allows ecosystems to recover from disturbances, and genetic variation strengthens resilience against diseases and environmental stressors. Extinction. The permanent disappearance of a species from Earth. Species loss. Annihilation. Disappearance. Biological wipeout. What are the main causes of species extinction today? Extinction is often caused by human activities. Species loss results from habitat destruction and pollution. Annihilation can occur due to climate change and invasive species. The disappearance of key organisms disrupts ecosystems, and biological wipeouts reduce biodiversity, weakening nature's ability to recover from environmental shocks. Farming animals. The practice of raising animals for food, labor, or other products. Livestock rearing. Animal husbandry. Domesticated breeding. Agricultural stock. What are the environmental impacts of farming animals? Farming animals contributes significantly to environmental degradation. Livestock rearing produces methane, a potent greenhouse gas. Animal husbandry requires vast land and water resources. Domesticated breeding often leads to deforestation, and agricultural stock operations can pollute waterways through waste runoff and overuse of antibiotics. Overfishing. Catching fish at a rate that exceeds their ability to reproduce. Marine depletion. Fish stock collapse. Ocean overharvesting. Aquatic exhaustion. What are the long-term consequences of overfishing? Overfishing leads to marine depletion and disrupts food chains. Fish stock collapse affects global food security. Ocean overharvesting damages coral reefs and marine habitats. Aquatic exhaustion also threatens the livelihoods of coastal communities and reduces biodiversity, making oceans less resilient to climate change. Pollutants. Harmful substances introduced into the environment. Contaminants. Toxins. Hazardous agents. Environmental impurities. How do pollutants affect human health and ecosystems? Pollutants have severe effects on both human health and ecosystems. Contaminants in air and water can cause respiratory and digestive issues. Toxins from industrial waste harm wildlife. Hazardous agents disrupt reproductive systems in animals, and environmental impurities degrade soil and water quality, leading to long-term ecological damage. Etiquette. The customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a profession. Manners, protocol, decorum, politeness. How important is etiquette in professional environments? Etiquette plays a crucial role in professional settings because it reflects respect and professionalism. Observing proper manners and protocol helps maintain decorum and ensures smooth communication. Politeness fosters trust, which is essential in teamwork and leadership. Without etiquette, misunderstandings and conflicts can easily arise, affecting productivity and morale. Courtesy, polite behavior that shows respect for other people. Civility, respect, consideration, thoughtfulness. Do you think courtesy is still valued in modern society? Yes, I believe courtesy is still highly valued, although it may sometimes be overlooked. Acts of civility and respect, such as saying please or thank you, show consideration for others. Thoughtfulness in daily interactions can improve relationships and foster a more harmonious society. Even in fast-paced environments, courtesy remains a timeless virtue. Courteousness, the quality of being polite and respectful. Gallantry, graciousness, respectfulness, amiability. Can courteousness impact how people perceive you in social situations? Absolutely. Courteousness significantly influences how others perceive you. Gallantry and graciousness often leave a lasting impression, especially in first encounters. Respectfulness shows maturity, while amiability makes interactions pleasant. People tend to gravitate toward those who treat others with kindness and dignity, which can open doors both socially and professionally. Customary. According to the customs or usual practices associated with a particular society, place, or set of circumstances. Traditional, conventional, habitual, established. Is it important to follow customary practices when visiting a foreign country? Yes, following customary practices when abroad is essential. It shows respect for traditional values and helps avoid cultural misunderstandings. Adhering to conventional norms and established etiquette can make interactions smoother. Habitual behaviors like greetings or dining manners vary widely, and being aware of them demonstrates cultural sensitivity and adaptability. Thoughtful, showing careful consideration or attention to others or to details. Reflective, attentive, mindful, pensive. Do you think being thoughtful is important in relationships? Yes. Being thoughtful is essential in any relationship. A reflective person often understands others' emotions better. Attentive gestures, like remembering small details, show genuine care. Mindful communication helps avoid misunderstandings, and a pensive attitude allows deeper emotional connection. Thoughtfulness builds trust and makes relationships more meaningful and lasting. Considerate, showing concern for the feelings and needs of others. Kind, thoughtful, respectful, understanding. What qualities make someone a considerate person? A considerate person is often kind and respectful, always thinking about how their actions affect others. Thoughtful gestures, like helping without being asked, show genuine care. Being understanding during difficult times also reflects emotional intelligence. Overall, considerate individuals create a positive atmosphere wherever they go, making others feel valued and supported. Direct, being honest and straightforward in speech or behavior. Frank, straightforward. Blunt, candid. Is it always good to be direct when expressing your opinion? Being direct can be beneficial, especially when clarity is needed. A frank approach avoids confusion, and being straightforward ensures transparency. However, blunt remarks can sometimes hurt feelings, so it's important to be candid yet tactful. In professional settings, direct communication often leads to efficiency, but emotional sensitivity should not be overlooked. Stereotype, a widely held but fixed and oversimplified idea of a particular type of person or thing. Generalization, preconception, label, assumption. Do you think stereotypes affect how people interact with others? Yes, stereotypes can significantly influence social interactions. When people rely on generalizations or preconceptions, they often fail to see individuals for who they truly are. Applying labels or assumptions can lead to unfair treatment and misunderstandings. Breaking free from stereotypes allows for more authentic and respectful relationships. Rule of thumb: a general principle based on experience or practice rather than theory. Guideline: principle, heuristic, convention. Is it useful to follow a rule of thumb in decision-making? Absolutely. A rule of thumb provides a practical guideline that simplifies decision-making. While it may not be scientifically precise, this principle often stems from experience. Using heuristics or conventions can save time and reduce complexity, especially in everyday situations. However, it's important to adapt when exceptions arise. Natural conversation: a spontaneous and relaxed exchange of words between people. Casual talk, informal chat, free-flowing dialogue, unscripted speech. How important is natural conversation in building relationships? Natural conversation is vital for forming genuine connections. Casual talk and informal chat help people feel at ease. Free-flowing dialogue allows emotions and ideas to surface naturally, while unscripted speech fosters authenticity. These elements build trust and understanding, which are essential in both personal and professional relationships. Expression: the process of conveying thoughts or feelings through words, gestures, or art. Articulation, communication, manifestation, declaration. How does expression influence creativity? Expression is the foundation of creativity. Through articulation and communication, individuals share their inner thoughts. Manifestation of ideas through writing, music, or art allows emotions to be explored. A bold declaration of one's perspective can inspire others and lead to innovative thinking. Expression gives creativity its voice and impact. Well-mannered: behaving in a polite and socially acceptable way. Polite, respectful, refined, civilized. Do you think being well-mannered is still important in modern society? Yes, being well-mannered remains crucial today. Polite and respectful behavior fosters harmony in diverse communities. Refined manners show cultural awareness, while civilized conduct promotes mutual respect. In both personal and professional settings, well-mannered individuals are more likely to build strong, positive relationships. Courteous: showing politeness in one's attitude and behavior. Respectful, gracious, considerate, well-behaved. How does being courteous affect communication? Being courteous enhances communication by creating a respectful and considerate atmosphere. Gracious gestures and well-behaved responses reduce tension and promote understanding. When people feel valued, they're more open and cooperative. Courteous communication is especially important in multicultural settings where sensitivity matters. Initiating a conversation: the act of starting a verbal interaction with someone. Starting a dialogue, opening a discussion, breaking the ice, beginning a talk. How important is initiating a conversation in social situations? Initiating a conversation is crucial in social settings because it helps build connections. Starting a dialogue shows confidence and openness. Opening a discussion can ease tension, while breaking the ice allows people to feel more relaxed. Beginning a talk with a smile or a friendly gesture often leads to meaningful interactions and lasting relationships. Outstretched hand: a gesture of extending one's hand forward, often to greet or offer help. Extended arm: offered hand, reaching gesture, welcoming gesture. What does an outstretched hand symbolize in different cultures? An outstretched hand often symbolizes goodwill and openness. In many cultures, An extended arm is a sign of greeting or peace. An offered hand can also represent support or solidarity. This reaching gesture breaks barriers, while a welcoming gesture fosters trust. Such nonverbal cues are powerful in building rapport across diverse cultural contexts. Beaming smile. A wide, radiant smile that expresses happiness or friendliness. Radiant grin. Joyful expression. Bright smile. Cheerful look. How does a beaming smile affect first impressions? A beaming smile can greatly influence first impressions. A radiant grin conveys warmth and friendliness, making others feel welcome. This joyful expression often breaks down social barriers. A bright smile shows confidence, while a cheerful look reflects positivity. People are naturally drawn to those who smile genuinely, as it signals openness and kindness. Personal space. The physical areas surrounding a person that they regard as psychologically theirs. Private zone. Comfort zone. Physical boundary. Spatial bubble. Why is respecting personal space important in social interactions? Respecting personal space is crucial because it maintains comfort and trust. Invading someone's private zone can cause discomfort. A comfort zone allows individuals to feel safe, while physical boundaries protect emotional well-being. A spatial bubble is culturally sensitive, and understanding it helps avoid awkwardness or offense in diverse settings. Common courtesy. Basic polite behavior expected in social situations. Basic etiquette. Social norms. Expected politeness. Everyday manners. Do you think common courtesy is declining in modern society? In some ways, common courtesy seems to be declining due to fast-paced lifestyles. Basic etiquette like saying thank you or excuse me is often overlooked. Social norms are evolving, but expected politeness still matters. Everyday manners help maintain civility and mutual respect, especially in crowded or stressful environments. Good manners. Polite and socially acceptable behavior. Proper conduct. Politeness. Social grace. Courteous behavior. How do good manners influence professional success? Good manners are essential in professional environments. Proper conduct shows respect and reliability. Politeness fosters collaboration, while social grace helps navigate complex interactions. Courteous behavior builds trust and leaves a positive impression, which can lead to better opportunities and stronger workplace relationships. Euphemistic. Using mild or indirect expressions to replace harsh or blunt ones. Polite phrasing. Soften language. Indirect wording. Tactful expression. Why do people use euphemistic language in communication? People use euphemistic language to avoid offending others or sounding too harsh. Polite phrasing helps maintain diplomacy, while softened language reduces tension. Indirect wording is often used in sensitive topics, and tactful expression shows emotional intelligence. Euphemisms can preserve relationships and promote respectful dialogue. Politically correct. Language or behavior that avoids offending particular groups of people. Inclusive language. Sensitive phrasing. Non-offensive speech. Respectful terminology. Is it necessary to be politically correct in public speaking? Yes, being politically correct is vital in public speaking. Inclusive language ensures everyone feels represented. Sensitive phrasing avoids alienating listeners, while non-offensive speech promotes unity. Respectful terminology reflects awareness and empathy, which are essential for effective and ethical communication in diverse audiences. Vertically challenged. A humorous or euphemistic way to describe someone who is short in height. Height impaired. Not tall. Petite. Short-statured. Do you think euphemisms like vertically challenged are helpful or harmful. Euphemisms like vertically challenged can be helpful when used humorously or respectfully. Saying someone is height impaired or petite softens the description. However, if used sarcastically, it may offend. Short-statured individuals deserve dignity, and language should reflect that. Intent and tone determine whether such terms are helpful or harmful. Rude, showing disrespect or bad manners. Impolite, ill-mannered, disrespectful. Abrupt, how do people usually respond to rude behavior? People often respond negatively to rude behavior. Impolite or ill-mannered actions can damage relationships. Disrespectful comments may lead to conflict, and abrupt gestures can be seen as aggressive. Social harmony depends on mutual respect, so rudeness tends to isolate individuals and create tension. Offensive, causing someone to feel hurt, upset, or insulted. Insulting, provocative, disrespectful, hurtful. What makes language offensive in certain situations? Language becomes offensive when it's insulting or provocative. Disrespectful remarks or hurtful jokes can deeply affect others, especially in sensitive contexts. Cultural awareness is key. What's acceptable in one setting may be offensive in another. Thoughtful communication helps avoid misunderstandings and promotes inclusivity. Insult, a disrespectful or scornful remark or action. Affront, offense, put down, derogatory comment. How do people deal with insults in public situations? People deal with insults differently. Some ignore the affront to maintain dignity, while others address the offense directly. A put down can be painful, especially if it's a derogatory comment. Responding calmly and assertively is often the best approach, as it shows strength without escalating the situation. Brash, self-assertive in a rude, noisy, or overbearing way. Bold, tactless, pushy, loud. Is being brash ever seen as a positive trait? In some contexts, being brash can be seen as confidence. Bold individuals may stand out, but tactless or pushy behavior often alienates others. Loud personalities can energize a room, yet they risk overwhelming quieter voices. Balance is key. Assertiveness is valuable, but respect must accompany it. Toxic, harmful, or poisonous, especially in relationships or environments. Poisonous, destructive, damaging, hostile. What are the signs of a toxic relationship? A toxic relationship often feels poisonous and emotionally draining. Destructive patterns like manipulation or constant criticism are common. Damaging communication and hostile behavior erode trust. Recognizing these signs early is crucial for mental health. Healthy relationships should uplift, not harm.